So Holly cuts my hair and she's then showing up. Hello. Oh, can we take it again? I just remove this fabric. Sorry. Oh, wait, what's this? A note. Past Lars, while she was enjoying her Parmesan brine martini, wrote a little intro. Today I'm going to unveil two of my go-to button-up reworks. I've said it before, and yeah, I'll say it again. Button-ups are the blank sheet of paper of upcycling. There are endless possibilities. Let's get started. I'm going to show you two reworks on a button-up today, but I'm going to do both of them on one button-up, so it'll be a nice big reveal. So here is the before, pretty basic. The first button-up is going to be a faux bustier cup using a shoulder pad, one of my favorite things, a shoulder pad. And then I'm going to show you an alteration to the cuff. First, the bustier cup. That's, I think, the only weird ingredient we'll be using. Everything else will be just like pen scissors. And the first step is to remove the pocket, because we'll be, I mean, I guess you could leave it on there if you want, but I'd say take it off just so it's a nice clean look. So I started, just because that way Avon isn't here for 5 hours as I'm doing this. They always seem to be really small stitches, so usually I will do like a couple maybe on the back, and then I'll end up just sort of going at it from the middle. And so I'll just do the last few here. See, I'm just kind of doing this, and with these thread snippers, it's way easier. I seem to like this more than a seam ripper. And there's a little fear of, since it's the same, the thread color is the same as the shirt, I'm like, I want to make sure I don't snip the shirt. And they really make these stitches so small. I'm going to write my senator about that. It's ridiculous. That's my number one concern right now.
Formal letter.
Yeah, I'm going to write a formal letter of complaint. All right, and now it is removed, and I'm going to add it to my pocket stack that one day, I think one of these reworks will be, we've talked about just doing all pockets. Just like, I mean, sewing like 8 pockets on a shirt and just see what happens. It's like a cargo pants, but a shirt, cargo shirt.
Yeah.
So now it's nice and smooth with a million little threads everywhere. Now, the fun part, let's go through the shoulder pads. It's easier to come across the ones that are like half moon than the ones that are round. In fact, let me show you, you know what? This is not, I'm improvising here, it's off the cuff. Here is one I've done before, so kind of a sneak preview. So this one, I mean, not technically, it's rounder, but that's another, like, that's probably the ideal shape technically, but the way we're gonna do it, sorry, everything's about to fall down. The way we're gonna do it, it can, first of all, like I said, easier to find, and then also we'll just stitch it along the bottom and it can be a little pocket. So it's sort of taking the place of the pocket you just removed. So many different shapes and sizes. And obviously you can do different colors and depending on the color of the shirt, if you want to do a color block. But, and some of these are not standalones, orphans. They're friendless.
They're orphans.
They're, yeah, I know. Let's make it sadder if possible. This one's kind of interesting because it's like a triangle. I don't know. That's something. I got this kind of weird little, and it's filthy too. Anyway, it's kind of a square.
Perfectly circular.
Yeah. Kind of interesting little square circle.
Oblong.
Do I want a shoulder pad that is like a cotton fabric that sort of almost looks like, part of the shirt? Or do I want something that's like, I don't know, my mind always go to like Margiela or whatever. I'm like, I'm so avant-garde. I'm doing something that's like, it's supposed to be on the inside and it's supposed to be, the inside, and we're putting it on the outside, guys. I mean, like, it's pretty, outrageous. It can be fun to do one that's a little more like, again, like we need a word for like this exposed tailoring, sort of like, it looks like a mistake. And I'm sure people in fashion are screaming. They're like, well, anyways, tell us in the comments what it should be called. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I hate to say the guts of something, but you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm sure there's a fantastic word that I'm not thinking of. These are like a weird shape and they're silky. If you have a serger and you're like, oh, I kind of like this one, but like, I don't know, the shape's not right or it's too big or it's whatever, then you can sort of like resurge it and reshape it. So that's another option. So I'm actually vamping because I'm like, oh, I don't know. This one's like a damask sort of, yeah, that can be cute. Okay, sorry, I need to shut up and focus. Silk. I don't know. At a certain point, I just gotta choose one. Okay. I kind of really like this one too because it just has like this stitch from before. I don't know. There's something interesting about that. I don't know if it is it right on the shirt. I'm not sure. I do feel like sometimes I really like explain, like, if you guys can even imagine words, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing something so bizarre, and like then I'll see other people, then I'll see like, you know, on Instagram like some designer, and they're like really doing something outrageous, like a 3D printer, and I'm like, yep, I'm cropping a button up. Can you wrap your mind around that? All right. I think this one could be interesting. Okay, let's just do this. Actually, wait, make sure there's stains on everything that you're working with.
I like
Okay.
the color combo.
Yeah, I think that has like, I don't know, kind of
It's like different enough.
it's different enough,
it doesn't
but
look too weird.
it's not too jarring. Like, I do like this too, but
I feel like that's almost like too cool of a white.
yeah, it's almost like blue,
Yeah.
blue white. Okay. I'm going to estimate where they should be. I seem to always be wrong, even though I've done this like so many times. Anyways, I was like, it should be about here. And then I'm going to pin them in place and then try it on and sort of adjust. All right, here's the original. And I was reaching for the stars and I was like, my boobs are up here. And it's like, no, they're not. It was also just, it was kind of just dipping up a little bit too much. And I was just, I don't know, just sort of recalibrating. It's just more like an intuitive thing. And trying to think if it needs to be more centered. I don't know. It's kind of also like, again, depending on the wearer, this is like a little boxier fit on me. So I'm just trying to figure out how far. This is all trash it. Just dump it. So I think I'm going to go more with this one. I have now pinned the shoulder pads down approximately symmetrically. And before I sew that down, I thought we'd go ahead and start on part 2. With this rework, I will be removing the cuff and finishing it. I mean, you could leave it raw and that would look very cool. But I'm going to be covering it with double fold binding. So that way you can still go to your business meeting. You can't have a raw edge at a business meeting. Sorry. I don't know why, again, I feel like I need to give some sort of like symposium on cuffs because part of me, I do like the way it looks in a way, but sometimes when you're wearing it, it feels so stiff. Same with the collar. I want to, that'll be probably future video. That will probably be a future video because the collar, it's like in one way, it's like there's something, I don't know how to explain it, but there's just something about this like platonic ideal of a button up and it's business and it has all this history and, you know, that's great. But it's also when you're wearing it, it's like, yeah, you feel like a clergyman, a man of the cloth. As much as I do like button up sleeve cuffs, I wanted to experiment with different ways to, because it's tricky with these sleeves because they kind of balloon and then they come together with these pleats so that way it'll fit. And I have tried to just crop it. And also when you use a lot of like men's shirts and my arms are shorter. And so I've got to think about the aspect too. It's like, okay, how bunchy do I want it? Do I want it flopping down? Do I want to roll it? Okay. Sorry, this is like a whole drama. Part of me wants to like, oh, cut it off here or I'll, you know, and then it's like, it just looks like a weird bell. It just doesn't add up. So I still utilize part of this structure. And so I'm going to be, I'll probably cut it as close to this button as possible because if you don't involve the button, you almost do have to cut it up here because then you'll have this weird flap. It's, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could sew it shut, but in this, what we're doing, we're going to be cutting it off about here, and then we're just going to clean finish that with some double fold bias tape. I feel like I need to shorten that, like double fold, DF, BT, with bias tape, BT. That's longer than saying it. It's like, now I'm like, do I need a measuring thing? No, I'll just eyeball it. It'll be fine. I'm just going to allow enough room so the tape, because, you know, it'll go to about there. So this, I just cut something that was, I guess, black, and so there's bits. Okay, sorry. I guess I could do it. Do I have to get a ruler? Can I just do it? Okay, we'll see. I'm eyeballing it and just making sure it's about the same width the whole way. And I'll try to keep the pleats as is, because again, if you do it like, well, I guess this doesn't have really deep pleats. Some of these sleeves really go to town, and so you might want to keep that as is when you put the bias tape on, because, like I said, it just still needs to be tapered a little bit. Otherwise, it just looks, I don't know, to me at least, it looks odd. And here's where I'm like, okay, let me do the exact same measurements on this side, but also eyeballing it. Right. And you can save these cuffs and maybe like sew them on all, I'm going to say avant-garde. Each video has to have a word, and that's the one. Anyway, so you could save these, and that could be a fun little detail you add that some other, maybe we'll add in a future video. And now the DFBT. I'm really waiting for that. Like, that's not the right letter. I'm very visual, and so to do anything off the cuff. Oh God, cut that immediately and burn it. I have pre-made some double fold bias tape. So we could do a color block situation, and by color block I mean I have some that's bright white. I guess I do have some that's pre-made and it's from the 60s, and I just feel like it's gonna crumble if I pin it down, or it's like really thin, and I just like to work with one that's a little more like almost like, you know, more like half an inch or 3/8 or something when it's, you know, in place. So I can do bright white, but I'll probably do this cream color. And if you want to know how to make double fold bias tape yourself, I have it in the other white button up video, and we'll link it below.
Yeah.
Down below. Yeah. Needs to be about, I think, about 14 inches for each one, give or take. So I always seem to, sorry, this is like 36. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to do a bunch of math. No. So, and of course, I'm afraid I'm going to somehow be off. And then, actually, wait, yeah, it might be a little bit more because I forgot about it, the placket overlapping. I might just keep it as is because I'll be humiliated otherwise. And you could do the raw edge, like pin it raw edge, and that's that. Or you could like fold it under, smoother. Or there's it's one of those things that I never do, but I'm like, I should, where you like, okay, pin it, sew it, and then flip, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like trying to think logistically. It's so hard to think in 3D. Speaking of a visual learner thing. Okay, don't show them this while I'm flailing. I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm gonna just fold it under, and you know, there's a way. I just don't want to spend 5 minutes trying to figure it out. Yeah. It's like, just be happy. It's like grass is greener kind of thing. I'm like, just be happy with the upcycle you're making now. You know, I'm like covering its ears. I can hear you. Like, you're abandoning it already for something better. All right. And I'm just going to snip the end there, turn it under, pin it, pin the other one the same way, and I think we'll meet you at the sewing machine. Right? Okay. Normally I would start sewing here, but I want to make sure I kind of anchor it over here so it doesn't, like, I don't sew and it kind of pushes it out of sorts. So I'm just going to do a little stitch over here, a little tacking down, and then I'm going to start over here. I think it turned out pretty cute. Obviously the sleeves are a little long on me, so I might shorten them if I wear it, but probably keep it as is to have more size options on my website. And I love the cups. You got a little extra pocket. What's this? An outro perchance? Wow, what a roller coaster ride. We've taken the button up from the boardroom to a slightly less capitalist room where you can wear weirder shirts. It's the kind of room I want to be in. I think this is one for the books. Now go on, you good thing. So first and I keep saying so, but it's like somebody's okay. First.
So you do both.
All
And
right, my catchphrase?
started.
Do I need another
No,
catchphrase?
I like what-
Oh, whatever. I said it a minute ago. Can I say it again? No? Okay. By drop of concealer, I meant avalanche. Yeah, supercut of water drinking and putting on chapstick. I think this is definitely one for the books. I'm gonna kill myself.